What is going on, Jasmy family, Jasmy army? We got a great Jasmy video for you guys. We're going to talk about why Jasmy is building up so well on the charts, what type of work has been being put in for Jasmy in the last couple of weeks. Not to mention, we're going to recap everything that they've done. We're going to talk about the Q4 lockup and just try to get an understanding of how that will impact Jasmy when it reaches a specific price. And not only that, we're going to cover the market cap for Jasmy that we're trying to aim at as a potential target that would put all Jasmy investors in one of the best positions. So let's get into this video. So for many of you that are new to Jasmy, or many of you that may have not been invested in Jasmy, what I want to do is kind of give you an idea and backtrack what Jasmy has done over the past year and has started to develop with major partnerships. And there has been some recent work in the past days with Hera CFO has been communicating some of the great moves that Jasmy has in front of them. So now when we look at Jasmy as a project, it's not just about data democracy anymore. It's about building PCs with secure PC software. It's about taking Japan and building data democracy within Japan. And Japan really has a lot of trust in Jasmy as a cryptocurrency. Through their regulation process, Jasmy has actually set themselves up to be able to be utilized by the exception from Japan's regulation. Now, if you look at Japan, they are one of the top 3 when it comes to GDP. So as far as the richest countries that are out there. So understanding how that ties in with Jasmy is important information so that you can understand that, you know, Japan is not one of these poor countries that can't put out money and invest into cryptocurrency projects like Jasmy. And really, to be honest, Japan is leaning on Jasmy as a project to be able to be utilized within the country. So there's a lot of bullish information for Jasmy. The problem is I don't think that it's transparent enough for us to see it out here in the United States. But I know if you're in the Asian countries, you could see that Jasmy is very successful. So that's the only gap that we have between Japan and the US, is not understanding how Jasmy is performing within Japan in itself. So that's pretty key to understand that there is a lot of momentum, there's a lot of work being done, and millions of dollars will be coming into Jasmy as far as Japan's interest is. So that is very critical to understand as a Jasmy coin investor. So when it comes to crypto investing and understanding how to build your portfolio, having Jasmy in your portfolio is critical, because Jasmy is going to present itself with an opportunity to have a lot of money flow into it from Japan. So essentially it's going to raise a lot of capital for Jasmy coming out of Japan. And not only that, you have investors from all over other countries. Now, when you have Jasmy in your portfolio, and understanding the capacity that Jasmy can grow to is going to help you understand the value that the value of Jasmy brings to your portfolio. So it's an interesting fact that if you target Jasmy coin to hit 30 cents or 50 cents or even $1, which is highly capable, because the work that's being done, again, I'll reiterate it, Jasmy has done significant work over the past year or two to basically form a foundation of a healthy project. Now, some of that foundation falls from partnerships like Sony Vios, where they built these computers or these laptops, and they integrated with Jasmy software. It's called the Secure PC software. Now they placed this software in these computers, and then Sony Vios started marketing these out to sell as a Web3 decentralized type of laptop. Not only that, it was just recently introduced that Jasmy is going to support Japan military grade computer systems for the military. So that is another big thing, because a lot of people that are understand that the security of a laptop for military grade is important. Now, when you have a government tied into buying some products from Jasmy, that speaks for itself. So that's a big win for Jasmy if you could think of it in the long scheme of things. If they're going to be supplying the military these laptops with the secure PC software, obviously that's enough attention for a military in a country, in one of the top 3 countries of GDP. That's a win-win. That's a home run if you ask me. So not only that, they have developed partnerships with Kona Labs. They've developed partnerships with DWF Labs, where the Kona Labs is basically marketing Jasmy as a token, and DWF Labs is basically a whole marketing scheme for Jasmy in itself. So there's a big congratulations to Jasmy for holding at that 0.006 level. Now, I believe the next stop we're going to hit is the 009, or that 1 cent level, which is going to take us to a place that Jasmy hasn't found for quite some time. Now, this is very interesting because getting to this level is highly important, and we want to get there before we hit that Bitcoin halving, because what happens is, prior to the Bitcoin halving, if we could hit these high numbers, like, you know, into the 1 cent and beyond, we have the Q4 lockup that's coming to take place. Now, that's definitely going to impact the price of Jasmy, because what the lockup is going to do is going to create some sort of scarcity for Jasmy coin, and what that's going to do is going to take supply out of Jasmy and actually raise the value of Jasmy coin. So I think essentially what we want as Jasmy investors is for Jasmy to keep crawling, or, you know, catapult up to those levels beyond that 1 cent mark, so that we could put ourselves in position to take on the Q4 lockup, and that would essentially raise the valuation of Jasmy. Because once you take the supply away and we continuously have a demand for Jasmy, that's initially going to raise the price. Now, looking at the market cap of where Jasmy can go in the bull run is pretty essential as well, because what you want to understand is, once you get a raised valuation for Jasmy with the continuation of demand for Jasmy, and then with the lockup taking away that supply, you're creating scarcity for the coin. And not only that, you enter into a bull market. This is going to catapult Jasmy into those levels that Jasmy hasn't seen. But you have to understand, a lot of people doubt this, and they, you know, there's naysayers, because what happens is everybody says that Jasmy cannot go back to that $4. Now, I beg to differ on that. I don't believe Jasmy can go back to that $4 with this coming bull run, but definitely the next or the following, we could see Jasmy return back to those $4 all-time highs. But essentially, anything's possible, because we don't understand, we don't have 100% transparency on what the Q4 lockup is going to do to Jasmy token. Now, there could be some divine intervention that Jasmy comes out with this Q4 lockup and totally destroys the supply and increases significantly the valuation of Jasmy token. And we've seen that when a Jasmy originally came out, and when they introduced more supply and there was less demand for Jasmy, we saw the price obviously go from $4 down to where we're at today. But when you do the reverse of that, and you take away that supply and you increase that demand, then what's going to happen is that price valuation is going to skyrocket. And so in reference to the market cap, looking at the market cap of Jasmy, I mean, we're around the $200 million range or so, 300, maybe 300 million. But what people tend to miss the fact of is that they say, oh, Jasmy can't reach that $100 billion market cap. It could be true, but once you start messing with the supply, then you have to understand there's going to be an increase of demand, because we know that supply has created scarcity. So the Q4 lockup is very critical to Jasmy as a project. But honestly, if I were to put everything together and I look at Jasmy and I kind of run through a little, you know, brush across the top, there's tremendous amount of work going on for Jasmy. Then we have obviously an increase of demand for Jasmy coin, because lately we've seen the price of Jasmy start to go up, you know, significantly. And we know we're going to reach that retest of 1 cent and possibly higher. Then we have to understand the Q4 lockup is going to take place. Now with that, you're going to create scarcity for the supply of Jasmy. Then you have an increased demand, because then people are going to start to realize that there's tons of value within Jasmy, because the supply change is going to cause a bigger demand, and then the valuation of Jasmy is going to go up. So we're going to see the price rise of Jasmy. So we know that now the market cap's going to be affected, but in a positive way, because now removing that supply, increasing demand, increasing the market cap, I totally think that we're in position to hit a $15 billion market cap. So you could do the math and figure out where Jasmy would be in the state that it's in now. So it's not even, you couldn't even figure that out, because you're not going to know what the Q4 lockup is going to do to impact the price of Jasmy. Also, you don't know what it's going to do to impact the market cap of Jasmy. So having a $15 billion market cap in my mind is realistic, because we don't know what Bitcoin ETFs are going to bring and Ethereum ETFs are going to bring, plus the Bitcoin halving. This may potentially be one of the biggest cryptocurrency bull markets that we have seen in the history of cryptocurrency, because now if you look at all the growing pains that cryptocurrency has had, with collapses of major exchanges, we got all the junk out. Now we got a fully sourced cryptocurrency market with big institutional investors that never have invested in cryptocurrency are going to start playing the game. This right here with the ETFs of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Fidelity and Vanguard and all these other stock exchanges getting involved, this is going to allocate a lot of money into cryptocurrency. And I believe that many of us are missing this fact that we don't understand and we can't comprehend the amount of money that's going to flow into cryptocurrency. Now, when you have Web3 decentralization as the forefront of cryptocurrency, well, everything's got to start to plug in. So if I were to think of a perfect circle for cryptocurrency, you have Bitcoin and Ethereum leading. Then you have Internet Computer and many other platforms building the Web3 internet for cryptocurrency. And then you have projects like Jasmy, who's all about data democracy and building, sensitive data care for these internet platforms. So it all plays a role and it flows down into there. And there's other IoT projects, such as Jasmy has built the IoT secure data to work on these internet networks, So now it's all part of the big end game for cryptocurrency and Web3 decentralization, because it's an important asset that needs to be, and when I said I'm talking about Jasmy as an important asset to cryptocurrency as a whole, because of the whole data democracy and being able to utilize data. I mean, if you look at the big scheme of things, Jasmy can represent Japan 100% as a whole country. And then you'll see adoption of other countries say, okay, just as Japan and Sony, if we look at Sony, for example, they created technology and the US adopted that technology because it was a commodity, or it was something that was good for us that, we would utilize. And then other companies started building off of that and making, their brands. But we did adopt it into the United States, and that's what you're going to see with Jasmy in the future, start adopting into other countries and spreading out, and that value of Jasmy is going to be very significant. So we are going to see the $4, the $10, the $20 Jasmy token, and this is going to happen in the future. But don't never discredit Jasmy not being able to hit $1 in this next bull run, because there's so many factors that lie ahead of us that we can't even fathom what the valuation of Jasmy will be in 2025. So knowing all this information as an investor is critical, because don't set yourself up for all that FUD that you hear about Jasmy, because there's a lot of context behind Jasmy as a project, and this could potentially be huge for this coming bull run. So essentially, to summarize everything up, we know that Jasmy has done a lot of work to position themselves to do great things. Obviously, we're seeing the reflection of that on the charts with Jasmy going up. So that's a big positive for Jasmy. Once we hit this 1 cent mark and continue to grow higher than that, we'll start to understand more or less what the impact is going to be with the Q4 lockup. Then understanding the Bitcoin halving and what Bitcoin halving is going to bring for the bull run, not to mention the ETFs that are in play for both Bitcoin and Ethereum, are essential. Not only that, we have the work with creating a scarcity behind the token. So there's a lot of great positive contributions that Jasmy has to bring the valuation of Jasmy up as a whole, as a project. So I'm super bullish on Jasmy. I know many else of you are as well. So continue to stay bullish on Jasmy. Believe in the project. Believe in the cryptocurrency Web3 decentralized space. And as this starts to evolve, Jasmy's just going to grow bigger and bigger, because it is a main piece of that puzzle for Web3 decentralized internet service and pretty much as a whole for cryptocurrency. So stay bullish on Jasmy. I hope you guys got something out of this. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys subscribe. Check out the 10x squad. The link is in the description below, and make sure you check out these videos in the end. So continue to believe in the process, believe in Jasmy, and believe in whatever you invest in, because that is what you put in front of you. So you have to support it 100%. Thank you guys for watching. Enjoy your weekend.